Hello, today I want to go over a poem which we had in the first few textbook of 2001 2002 called Playthings by the poet laureate as well as the Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore. So, in this poem, the poet spells out the difference between uh, boyhood and adulthood. So, read the poem. It says, "Child, how happy you are, sitting in the dust, playing with a broken twig all the morning." So the poet addresses a child. He sees a child playing in front of him. The child is sitting on the ground, on the mud, and it is playing with a broken twig. A twig is a small branch of a plant or a tree. So the child is playing with a broken twig and it's playing over a long time, all the morning. He's been playing all the morning with the broken twig. The poet looks at it, looks at the child and says, "I smile at your play with that little bit of a broken twig." So the poet feels that the child is wasting its time and he smiles at the innocence of the child which is playing with that little bit of broken twig. Then he looks at himself and says, "I am busy with my accounts, adding up figures by the hour." So the poet is busy balancing the books. It is balancing his income and expenditure. He is busy with his accounts and all day he is adding up figures, numbers by the hour of his expenses and income, his budget. Continues, "Perhaps you glance at me and think, what a stupid game to spoil your morning with." So the poet suspects the child may think that the poet is spoiling his morning with that stupid game of balancing the accounts. Uh, he says to he addresses the child and says, "Child, I have forgotten the art of being absorbed in sticks and mud pies. I seek out costly playthings and gather lumps of gold and silver." And so the poet says that once upon a time he too was like the child and he was absorbed in worthless things, in things of no value like sticks and mud pies, and he was absorbed in those things while he was playing with them. And he says now that he's grown up, he tries to find, he seeks out costly playthings like lumps of gold and silver. So he goes behind wealth as an adult. Next he says, "With whatever you find, you create your glad games. I spend both my time and my strength over things I can never obtain." So the poet addresses the child and he says that the child uh, creates games which it plays gladly with whatever it can find, whether the object is valuable or worthless. And by comparison, he says that he spends both his time and his strength and energy over things he can never obtain. Because once we get what we want, the goal goes further. We want more and more. So, as an adult, the poet says he spends his time and energy and strength over things he can never obtain. And he says, in my frail canoe, I struggle to cross the sea of desire and forget that I too am playing a game. So he addresses himself and he says that his body and his mind is frail. It's a very weak canoe. A canoe is a boat that is used to sail on a river. So in his frail canoe, he says, he struggles to cross a sea of desire. So the world is full of objects of desire. He struggles to reach the shore of the sea of desire and find some peace and calm and rest. And in his effort to get things he can never obtain, like more and more wealth, more and more gold, more and more silver, he says that he forgets that he too is playing a game. So the game of life should be played with some degree of enjoyment, but there is a lack of enjoyment in the things which the poet pursues as an adult, whereas a child finds happiness with things which seem to be worthless but which give it endless joy. So this is the poem Playthings by Rabindranath Tagore. Thank you.